Hey guys, this is me and Chris. George isn't here today, and we decided to mix it up a little bit, and me and Chris are going to play. Now, this is a mismatch. He's many stones stronger than I, but we'll be talking along the way and getting ideas out there and what options and this and that, and hopefully it'll be an educational for everyone but Chris.
I'm sure I'll learn something.
I have white just so that I can take control and look at things. And here we go. Okay. So for the viewers, I paused here. A seems pretty calm to me here. But the top's getting flat. I didn't like that. Plus, black can start doing things which I don't want to have to deal with. There's this path that I'm just not comfortable with. I thought, well, if we go this way, then I can start, pinching and getting my points back that way. But for now, just 3-3. That was my thinking. So all regular stuff, other than my fear and anxiety.
Which so far seems to have not come up this game.
It's all natural so far. I love this bottom right for white. I always have, because it's such great points in life, and it's hard for black to do anything yet. So I like that. Okay.
And it is worth noting that I think the recommended move for black next on the shape is to play the star point on the right-hand side, but I don't like it, so I don't play it.
Okay, I don't want to be left weak in the corner, so I'm going to kick and kick. Well, if black came up, then my other kick is necessary. When black goes down, I don't need that, at least for that reason. I certainly don't like going into the corner because that leaves me with one eye. I hate that. If I kick the other side and then drop down, you're getting quite the monster-looking thing on top, reaching down to the right. So this is for education. So, boom, boom. I hate this. Hate.
And this one is a ko in the corner, and then
yeah.
I mean, white can use it. It's a tool white could use to take sente, but like white has a debt here. Later, the ko is going to be black's right, and white might have to sacrifice the corner.
But I hate this.
It's a very tactically complicated position.
So then I'm thinking of the reverse. And again, let's start this from the beginning. If black had come up, then I have two cuts. So it's only natural that I play this way. If it comes down, that leaves me wondering what the heck that means. So if I reverse it, I'm seeing this monstrously large right-hand moyo. Oh my God, that's terrifying. Okay. Therefore, I'm thinking of this kind of stuff. Well, he's wrapping around me. I don't like that. That means I come out. That's Sente. Of course, I get the pretty move. And he doesn't have any of those great moves. Okay. Okay. So far, this is the best feeling one I can find. What, here in Gote? I don't think so. I don't see another option. Ignoring? No. Okay. So I'm going this way. There you go. Okay. So again, for the viewers, I am so looking forward to messing with that left side black group. I mean, that's my only reason I don't feel horrible about the right is because he has a weak group. Okay. Well, now what I'm going to do. Okay. I don't like this because all of a sudden, isn't that I assume that's just a live. Yeah. That's disgusting. And if I respond, then I'm back with one or no eyes, and his group is already a little better. That's disgusting. Which sort of leaves me with this. Can I go further? Let's just look at the cut a little bit. I don't think I can go further here.
You have a counter cut to my cut.
Oh, this is true. This is true.
Because you don't have to make a Satari exchange. You can just cut in response to the cut.
This is true. I can just cut. I think I was going to get there. It's going to take me a minute. Okay, and he can't fight that. So if I do come out, cutting it, he just can't. Okay, that I feel better about. So viewers, if you can catch, like, what are these guys thinking about? Well, he's scared to death. He's not going to have any eyes. Darn right, I'm scared of that. Okay. I'm about to get cut. So, is that sent it? Well, my cut's back. Is that particularly bad for him? Well, I don't think so. So this move really isn't much different. Okay. Cut immediately. Not even Sente. Okay. Then save. And now I feel good because I have a foothold in the center. He can't like do this overwhelming moyo. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Okay. Boom, ba boom, ba boom.
Yeah, this move I will just speak on briefly.
Sure, please.
I hate this move. This is my least enjoyable move and go. I hate it. I avoid it every time I have to play it, unless it's good. Usually, if I'm playing this move, it's because I have some type of strategic goal or target in mind, because very often when you make these side extending gote moves, they become strategic targets for the opponent more so than oneself. Since white has the running group in the top left corner, there's a future that this stone can look forward to, and that's the only reason I'm considering it now. As opposed to earlier in the game when I played F17, I could have played it here as well, but there was no seeable future for that stone outside of building a Moyo and then white destroying the Moyo.
Okay, I want to repeat that. You tend to say it pretty fast.
True.
At this point, the A stone, and I can tell you it's true, is bothering my B group. Let's ask a couple other questions. How's he doing in Area 1? Nothing. Stupid Area 1. How about Area 2? Not really. But what the heck's they doing? Well, some 2, and B. Okay. Now we passed the test. That's how. Did I say it okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very fine line between this type of side extending move being a pass in the opening versus being a real move. If it can be a real move, you should play it. If it's a pass, you should avoid it.
Yeah.
And it just comes down to asking yourself, what's it actually going to do that's productive in the center?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to do an UDA because I'm a little lost here. The first O, observe the board. What things are important? Area 1, Area 2. I don't know. I don't think Area 3, so I'm not going to put that down. Is it time to be particularly concerned about my A group? I don't think so. I mean, I don't like it, but I don't think so. Is B group? Well, it's fine for now, that's for sure. Okay. Seams, 2 areas. Area 1 is a pretty gosh darn early opening move. Not quite early opening, but big area. Area 2, man, these are going to take a lot of points in one move. I have to play in Area 2. Okay. That's the second O. Which one of these is biggest? I'm going to go with Area 2. Okay. Step 3, what are the possible moves to deal with it? Bump, a bump, a bump. Bum? I don't think so. That's too far away. Okay. Seems to me 3 options. D, no, way too casual seems to me in a tough area. So I'm going to go touch something. Which one? Well, I don't think Black cares diddly about the D stone. He would just let me do whatever I want there, and he'd laugh in my face. So, corner, he wishes to do stuff in. So I'm going to play C or B. I know C's the one I see all the time, but my problem is, what if he goes on the outside and says, that right side's going to get big and I'm already live on top? Oh, that's disgusting. Based on all that, I'm going with B. Chris, I have to ask you, how did I do?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Control. I really want to hear right now how well I did.
I would say if I had to grade it like a test, I'd probably say you get like a 90-95% here. I think if you want to come in, the best move is 1. But only because these 5 stones are hurt a lot by that move at 1 if I try to resist. So, like, for example, we would expect, like, okay, you get pincered. The idea is white's actually just going to give that stone up and then go for something like this. And it's actually usually better for white because of those 5 stones. But without that knowledge ahead of time, I think choosing between C and B, I think you got that spot on. If you do play this one, I'm just going to Hane the outside and go for the side to make my Q10 more efficient.
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter to me. If you try to go into the complicated Joseki, I might even just give up the corner without much of a fight, to be honest. Like if something like this, I might even just go here, force you to defend somehow, and then come back. I'm very happy with this as black.
Okay. Let me look at this. Okay, so I'm thinking I would never play such a casual move in a difficult area. You're saying, oh, if I try something like this, I'm getting nothing for it. The right side is already undercut, and now there's this horrible spot in there, and it's just not a happening thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you play more secure, then I have that move anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take the corner, that's white's dread.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never would come up with this combination. Never. Oh my God.
Yeah, this one is one of the more common ones that AI likes to go for in similar situations with this invasion. And usually when I see this knight's move check, it's like I always know this is what it's looking at because it is.
Wow. Never white, black, white. I never, and then give it up. I would not go there.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. So I'm not at all displeased with my move now.
Yeah, no, I think your move is fine without the context for sure.
Okay, good. Okay. So Chris is looking at these moves, and he's facing situations he's familiar with and comfortable with, and the problems he's facing, he knows how to solve. And I'm looking, go treading water. Oh my God, what should I do now? Okay. So this is hard for me.
I will say it's a much more warming experience probably for you to learn this stuff this way, because for me, I had to play against the AI and have my soul degraded over time.
Oh yeah,
to figure this stuff out.
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking at A and B. I don't see any reason to crosscut or come out. Both these A and B should be doing things, doing reasonably well. B, much more in the open area. Can't get Atari right away. I'm going to play B with that. It's a much easier area. Now, I'm going to mention one thing before you go on. There's a principle that, and this is for the viewers, of course, it's the stupidest, simplest thing. I mean, it's like people going, what's he showing that for? That's ridiculous. But it's a principle. White has two ways to go. Why do we go B? Because it's the easier way. A's hard, B's easy. The principle of going the easy way in Go is going to get you way far. And we'll just do one more. Boom, boom. Two ways to go. One's easy, one's hard. Okay. So back in the game. This is hard because it's boom, Atari, whatever he wants. Boom, he's totally in control. And here I can go up, I can go to the corner, I can go to the side. Much easier. Just a principle I use way too much. Now that I'm trying to play stronger.
That's fine.
On to you.
The clever rabbit has three ways out, or so the saying goes, right? So I'm also going to play the easy one.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom.
And in case the viewers ask, I'm connecting and not descending in the shape. I'm aware that descending would take away white's hane, but it would also give white the turn in sente. If I connect, then white gets the hane exchange, but white does not get the turn in sente.
Right. This is big.
Mm-hmm.
But my turn gives me such freedom. That's a little bit worth looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So black's gaining here. I don't know how many.
It's like 6 or 7 points in the corner initially.
And he gets the monkey jump. So let's call it 15 friggin' points. How can that possibly not be so big? Because the attack is way less and I get to play more freedom of moves.
Uh-huh.
That's my take on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. Now I have to struggle for life. I see no reason to play anything but A or B. I prefer A because it doesn't help black. If I play A, next I can come out. That actually bothers me because when I imagine this, I'm imagining that's where he's been waiting for the entire time, the splitting attack. Now, I'm not strong enough to know what happens next. But
Strategically, the splitting attack is real. It is something that's there. It's not something I'm going to play immediately, though, because you're going to run towards the southwest with both groups towards a friendly Whitestone. So realistically, it would probably get this far, and then I'm going to Tanuki and bother the corner a little bit.
Right, prepare for it, right.
Yeah, and then I'm going to split and drive you towards my stones instead.
Right, right. So I'm going for a contact play to get more out of it immediately.
Mm.
Okay. And then I'm out of here as fast as I can.
Playing really, really well so far.
Well, I appreciate that. It's the experience is what's cute. I'm just like, I'm just grasping and hoping and when I run out fast like that, I'm very willing to give something up. My R15 stones. Oh, take them. If I can get out comfortable, that is all I want. Okay. Wedging, I see no purpose at all, or very little purpose. If I Hane and he cuts, I just walk in. Okay. Oh my God. I can't believe that I just got some strength, one weak group next to another. What is he? Is he trying to hand me the game? No, I just said no. Okay. So the idea is it sure looks like my two weak groups just got significantly stronger. But I'm questioning to myself, are they really pretty gosh darn far apart? And if so, should I be, sacrificing a little something in order to make them more secure? And I'm kind of thinking that's the case because this looks a little bit heavy to me. I'm a little concerned here. So my next job is to look for A, to find relationship with something which finds relationship with B. So what works these three stones together? Okay. That's got an elfin eye. That just feels too close to black shape. Right, I have a long knight's move right next to a black situation. Here's a long knight's move, not near back. Oh, I like this. This feels like it's working well. I'm going to go here.
Okay. I'll have something very interesting for the review portion of this shape.
Good. And if viewers can look and go, oh, I see why he's trying to do that and why it might be heavy, and it's great. Okay, he sees that I'm looking at that attack. That's Sente, right? He goes for life. I go, oh, you fool. That looks so big. So he's just taking it away. I may have misstated a little bit, but that's what I'm seeing here. Simple form.
It's got stronger, so. A lot of the middle game comes down to quality of group and group safety. So I would like the quality of C12 group to be better.
Yeah. Okay. Where to next? Okay. I need to do an Uda here. I don't care about the left anymore. If black approaches, I don't care. Me playing there, I don't care. Bottom, okay. Bottom in general, not the spot, but area 1 in general. Black has 2 in Sente, which is something of a bother. And when I play it, I'm growing the bottom. So that's 2 things dealing with the bottom. Coming under at 3. Ooh, I like that. He made so many statements about wanting that area. It would just be fun to take it away. And I cannot think of anything else.
Mm. Yeah, that seems to be about all the important stuff here.
So I'm thinking, once I get on the right button, if I come in, he says, aha, I have taken it. I'm like, yeah, you better. And then all of a sudden the bottom is getting, luscious. Okay. So this is a double, it's almost like it's a double Sente, not actually double Sente, but this does a lot. So I'm going to go this one.
Yeah, it's a big like middle game reverse Sente for sure.
Ooh, I'm going to attack you like you did not know. Okay. I'm not going to attack. I just said that.
I mean, you could.
I could.
The invitation is certainly there.
I like how he's inside my large white net. I like that a lot. But he ignored me on the right. And he looks heavy. Can I do something cute like this? Or I'm just looking. What? This is like nothing. Okay. I wish I could threaten a cut, but I can't threaten a cut. This way, which supports me and threatens to come in again, you can just ignore it. Okay. So I don't see any way. What if I just come in? And he's like, no, you can't connect. Am I actually doing something here? Looks like it, huh? Ooh, that's exciting. Um, is it a valid asking question? Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm terrified right now. Okay, your move. Okay, so if I do nothing, that turns into a positive for him. He takes more than he would have. So I want to respond. I have to respond. Okay, I'm just going to respond this way. Okay. Now, I'm still looking at attacking this group. I know that sounds silly, but what to do here? I'm going to take a look. I'm going to probe. I'm going to ask a question here. He's having so much fun wrapping me around his little finger. Yeah, that's true. That just boom, boom, is the ladder. Dang. And if I do nothing, my whole group dies. Atari. One out. Ooh, he's thinking. Did you see that? He was thinking. I have him worried. Okay. Boom, boom. That's dangerous. Boom, boom. And then frickin' surround and kill the sucker. That's what I'm going to do. How to do that? I'm going to do that this way. Ooh, I did something. Ooh. Now when I cut, that breaks the ladder. I like that. Okay. I cut. I'm going to have to read it out on the board. I cut Atari Help me get control here. Atari, save. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Okay. I can cut him. Oh my God, I can cut him. I'm going to win this game. He's going to be shamed. Let's see what you do, buddy. Okay, no choice. Have to play there. Now it's a liberty race. I die on the left, on the right. Okay. Maybe not. There's a couple little choices here. Okay, my upper left has new vigorous life. Upper right, death. If I cut, boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. I have to use the board to read it out. Sorry, I'm too emotional right now.
You're good.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom. So he can bypass the white stones. Okay. And if I do this, it's just Atari. Okay. So I am officially dead. But I can still mess around over here. Okay, so I'm going to count now. He is not yet dead on the bottom right. He can just run out. In one move, I get the whole thing. So I'm going to count half of that. The whole thing is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. I'm going to say 20 and say that I now have 10 points there. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, and Comey. It's 50-point Comey, so that gives me 80. No, just 30. White has 35. Black 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 24, 26, 28, 32, 46, 40. Oh, way ahead. Okay, let's review. That was really fun.
Yeah. Starting from this end position, I can sort of walk you through what I was thinking here, because the ending gets a little bit interesting, I think. Okay. So one of my what I'd say as an amateur, at least, is probably one of my bigger strengths is I count a lot. And I get that because I reviewed a lot of Shusaku games, a lot of Shua games, a lot of Chochukun games. And so like I have a sort of natural disposition to like to shinogi my stones. So the minute that white played here, the first thought in my mind isn't actually, oh, I need to spend a move on the right side and take all the territory. I counted and was like, okay, even if it's 0 points, I win by 20. Because white has no points right now.
White has no points.
So where is white's future going to be to make points? It's going to be on the bottom. Okay, I'll let him attack those stones and I'll just take away the area of profit. Now it's an attack that can only lead to a Marigatachi, which is the Japanese term for an attack with no profit. And so that was the strategy that I did here. So it's like, yeah, it's very tempting for white to attack. But if we look 30 moves into the future, not calculate, but like envision what that attack's going to look like, white's going to get a lot of stones in the center and black will tanuki every chance they get to destroy that profit before the group dies, which is pretty much what I did here.
Yeah.
This move I said we were going to talk about a little bit. I think is like, for the viewers, this move is perfect, right? It has the best relationship with ANC. For what we're working on, I'm going to show you this. You can play this one first and then connect. So now that move that you were looking at, or that sort of bothers and cuts, you're like already naturally ahead of it by playing the forward moving AB exchange.
Yes. And one thing you and I have worked on, Chris has been helping me for a couple months now, is to do these things in a more active way. And I didn't do that at all in this board. A is the active way. I'm going to go get you. I'm going to go do something. And then it looks perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and if white is able to come back and play like C with impunity, white would really prefer to play C locally, because having that solid connection means that later white can bother these 2 points inside if white gets a move around S5, and it's going to make that push you played on the bottom a lot more severe.
Yeah.
Against the right side, because I don't have that option to cut and resist anymore. I'm just basically forced to live locally at that point. So this would be the forward moving.
Yeah. No,
way.
perfect.
Yeah, I think the opening was pretty spot on. This is all just the type of opening I like to play as black. I do this every time white plays the diagonal. I don't usually answer it goes to me. I think this is no mistakes. This move sometimes doesn't come up nowadays, though. Usually white can Tanuki again. Or like the more modern method is to get out like this and then get ahead of the Blackstone with something like this, or like this. If black comes out, white can get ahead of it again with this one of the attachments. Kind of very similar to the shape that was played, but a little bit more forward dynamic for white.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And you're forcing black to take the territory on top and reducing the moyo simultaneously. It's really quite attractive. You can play this next or play this one, which is quite big here.
Nice.
So it's a good one to remember, I think, this direction if you ever come up against this type of repincer in the shape.
Yeah. And of course, I've seen it so many times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I need practice. Yeah.
You were right on the money with this one. A lot of the time, this doesn't get played because when black pushes and separates, the resulting fight is not necessarily great for black.
Uh-huh.
So in a lot of the modern cases, black will usually play this one or play like the Hane and jump, depending on the board.
Yeah.
And this is just because now it's very awkward for white in the corner. That's mostly like, it doesn't give white the natural follow-up like you discovered in the game. It's like, oh, he went that way. Well, now what do I do?
Yeah.
You know. So usually I see this one because
it's so slow to me.
Yeah, but the idea is very simple. If I ignore it, it's quite a strong attack against me. It's true that I can play this and like get this and like maybe there's some move around here, but this is not at all easy for black. So you can do this one directly or you can play how you played in the game. This is also fine. The main difference between doing A directly and playing B first is actually the follow-up you take away from black. Because on some boards, black will ignore the attack and go here.
Uh-huh.
And if white has to play something like this, then usually black is okay with sacrificing locally in the corner.
Uh-huh.
So if white doesn't like that, then that's usually when white is considering to play this one.
Okay.
And in some rare instances, I've even seen this one suggested.
Uh-huh.
Where the idea is if the cut happens, then white is using the cut as leverage to move out in a stronger way. We can imagine, just as an example, something like this. And then white can just, because white already got the sort of classic 3 in a row diagonal, which is a very common shape from 30 years ago to attack this group.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a more modern way to get there. You do it leveraging the sacrifice of 1 stone. Whoops, that's not what I played in the game. You were on the money with this one. This is a very important move. We've talked about it before. It looks like the black group could use a move. I can do it 2 ways, 1 or 2. Both are fine. I choose 1 because in the opening, I value the instability it creates in white's group.
Yeah.
If I play 2, there's no pressure on white. I'm moving away from that fight. If I play 1, I'm keeping some semblance of pressure on white.
More than some semblance.
Yeah. I have a cutting point, and if white is forced to move out against it, I get to fix that cut naturally in the process too, which is extra profit for black in the shade.
Uh-huh.
So this move to me seemed more urgent than jumping to the side. This was fine. You can also turn. Turning is good for white because the 1 exchange is usually enough to take sente. And if white isn't convinced, then white can push again to take sente. And like, for example, we'll go here next. 19 is also fine. Nothing wrong with that. And usually black is going to think about A, B, or C in the local shape.
Uh-huh.
I didn't like A because later you can bother me from here.
Yeah,
the gap is
yeah.
pretty wide on the
It's
top.
probably,
At least with B, if you bother, I have a very easy attachment.
yeah.
The stones work a little bit better together. I almost never play C because the relationship is super weird with this stone. Like if this stone is high, then I think it's fine. But on this board, when the stone is low, again, it just seems like the shape weaknesses around here are just kind of annoying. So B felt like the most balanced one. That is not what got played. We looked at the turn. You didn't like the turn. Yeah, the turn is only really viable if you think you're going to get Sente from it.
Right.
You could theoretically cut and take Sente this way without extending the sacrifice. If black connects, then later you could use this as a means to try to get some move around here later, meaning like if this were to happen, there might be some liberty issue with this Hane somehow. But that would be the only reason you'd want to extend the liberty here in this case. So I thought that was fine. It's worth noting that locally, if black wants to continue putting pressure on white, actually the move for black is to go here, which is very weird looking. But very important for attacking white if black actually has a vested interest in it. And that's because this stone being very low means that if black omits a move like this, then white can press it and the attack is gone.
Yeah.
So it's actually a bit of a vital point for the higher level players that might watch this later. If you do think about attacking, remember the shape, it's very important. But I didn't really think about attacking here because it seems to me the next important area is going to be white's push at N4 and the relationship of black's 5 stones with the right side. There were many points where white could take Sente and bother that group. It hasn't happened yet. So me playing this one is putting future pressure on this and trying to create some semblance of stability with those stones. And then the game, we looked at all these different moves. Everything there was fine. This is sometimes seen as an option. This is going to guarantee that you live locally, but that's about all it does. You give up a lot of influence this way. This is more for, again, for like the low down high Q players. I'm just bringing it up. You can live. I know it's going to be a question from somebody. Well, what if you just do this one? But you think about it like a re-invasion. If you give up something even like, let's say, like this to black, you're going to live, but black is getting a very big thickness. Right. And again, this is what black wants because the stronger black gets here, let's just have white play away. The easier it's going to be for black to make the claim of, oh, I'm attacking you. You know, something like this even, or maybe we jump back or like chase. It's just not really attractive for white, I think.
Right.
So I liked your idea with B and getting out. That was very reasonable, I thought. And here somebody might think this is weird. It's like, why are we contacting weak stones? Wouldn't it be better to just extend? But if I do this, I'm helping lead white into the center. I didn't like that. So I played this one for stability because it left 2 weaknesses. Even if white does connect, I can still attack from here. So any semblance of move around here that can aim for the cut breaks white's eye space and helps me separate the groups later. So it was kind of my long-term idea. Plus, on the other side, if I do get the descend at any point, that's like almost 20 points that I get for free one move. So it's quite big. So yeah, that's all the comments I had in the review for the game. Anything else that you would like to add, please take away.
One thing. Black has what can white do about this A stone that hasn't responded?
Pinch 2 space low.
Just a second. There you go.
It's usually just this one. And we kind of do it to fish for, does black want to play like A, B, C, or D? Or Tanuki. On a board like this, typically if I'm black, I'm always playing away. I'm never going to answer that move.
Okay.
But later in the game, white can seal it in with this one, or white can seal it in with this one. And presuming that these 2 stones have something positive that they're going to be doing in the A and B and helping out C areas, then this one is considered usually pretty okay for white.
And black can still live in the corner, right?
Correct. And the difference with the placement of the E13 stone is what that shape is going to look like. It's harder for black to use the inside stones for an outside benefit in this configuration versus the knight's move. Just to kind of show a basic example of what that means. There are variations where like white really likes to cut like this. And in a lot of these variations, you'll see Atari and Descend and some such, and then things like this or things like this to bother the shape. But it's very hard for that shape to be bothered if that stone is here. We can still play the same move, but it's easier for white to handle. White's shape is far less broken in a position like this. We can even imagine a simple variation where black walks out, white can keep attacking, for example.
Okay.
So that's just the main difference. Both are fine according to AI, but yeah, it's either going to turn into that sort of sacrifice or white is going to cut off the one stone and force black to live small in the corner.
Okay. Well, great. Chris, thank you so much.
Mhm.
That was a lot of fun, and I sure hope some people got stuff out of it.
Yeah, I thought you played very well. I think like the first half of the game was pretty even, to be honest.
Great. Okay, everybody. Thanks for watching. Catch y'all later. Bye.